And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we're just getting our second conversation for this morning started. And we are joined by members of the Belize Defense Force, and we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics, and not least of which is the commemoration of the BDF anniversary and BDF Day. And joining us in our studio for the conversation this morning, we have with us Brigadier General Azariel Loria, who is the incoming commander of the Belize Defense Force, as well as Major Justo Veliz Jr., who is the president of the BDF Day Committee. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Square. Good morning, Mr. Courtney. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning, TV viewers. Thanks to Channel 5 for giving us the opportunity, prime time of your show, to give us the opportunity to discuss the upcoming event, which is BDF Day and the change of command, the same day.
Big day for you. Yes. After 29 years, you will, in fact, become the commander of the BDF. What does this feel like for you?
Okay, as we were chatting before, previous to the show, 29 years, it went fast. I remember my first day in the BDF recruit training, because we had to recruit training at the time, 4 months. It was about 2 weeks before completing recruit training that I was yanked off the course and sent to Guyana to do the standard officers course for cadets. So on completion of that, I came back. And
there were only a few selected to do that course?
It was 4 of us that went to do 4 cadets that went to Guyana to undergo that type of training. They are my squad brothers, who we call ourselves squaddies. Okay. But that was in 1993 to now. And since then, I have done a number of courses that prepares us enough to better administrate, command the force, both in peace and war. Hopefully that never comes, but we have been prepared to do that. And about 6 years ago, I completed my my strategic studies at the U.S. Army War College, and that sets that is part of the criteria to get considered for the post of commander. Okay. So that was done about 6 years ago.
Okay. And you know, you were functioning as the deputy, so you were perhaps in many ways people looked at as you as the right pick moving forward, or the next in command moving forward. I'm sure you've had an opportunity to witness what it takes to lead the Belize Defense Force. What are your thoughts in terms of how you view yourself in leadership?
Yes. From 4 years ago, I was the deputy for General Ortega. Yeah. I saw how he moved the force forward, because commanders always try to improve the force. As strengths, a lot of strengths, and some gaps in between, and that is what is in my head to try to rectify those gaps and keep on improving. Right. So for how I intend to move the force forward, I have the change of command will be this Friday. Yes. And in so doing, I'm still preparing my speech. And I think that I will say it before the time that in the BDF we have this vision. We have a vision statement, as all other organizations and ministries, businesses, they have a vision. And the vision remains. What we are trying to accomplish now and to improve is how we do things, the ways in which we do things. And I'm still preparing my directives, and as soon as we've finished with what we intend to do, the ways in which we intend to move forward the force for the next 3 to 4 years, will be penned in those set of directives that will go out to the battalion commanders and the senior officers and the rest of the force.
Yeah. In almost 3 decades in the force, what would you say have been some of the biggest changes And what's different about the new recruits now and the existing officers that you have?
The biggest change is from when I joined. From when I joined, there was only one battalion, and from from '93 to now, we have two battalions. There is a support and service battalion. There is a special forces company, and that is the driving force of our operations right now, specifically with transnational threats. Mm-hmm. The recruits of today and what we were before, perhaps before, whenever we used to the thing, it was like the type of training, it was more arduous, very rigorous. And
so you mean these guys have it easier now?
We have, and before we used to get treated.
He said more arduous, right?
we used to get treated rough. That was the type of training from before, but coming from the Second World War, those were the type of training. But now human rights have been inculcated into us. We have to abide because the world is changing. The world is evolving, and so do we. We are part of this world. We are part of the social culture of Belize, and we have to abide by those regulations. We have to be cognizant of the fact that we have to respect the dignity of the recruits, and hence the reason. Perhaps if we treat them the way we were treated in 1993, they will have to suck it up like we, in a way, and drive on. But we try not to do that. We are avoiding that at all costs, and stay with the modern times. We've got to evolve.
Let's and you know, I want to ask you, because I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, there was a report that came out of the BDF talking about allegations of sexual harassment for women who were in the force. Now, across the board, they're trying to get more women engaged in different activities, including the military. What will be your stance?
Okay, I think that last week it was a question that was asked also from Love FM. We since those allegations, I was quietly behind the scenes saying that we cannot continue. We cannot continue to function the way we were functioning. That we were treating the allegations of rape and sexual harassment internally. I was providing advice until the situation got out of control. We have to admit, it got out of control. That our policies were reviewed, and now we have a different policy, and it's a policy that caters for the individual. If the person that is alleging rape, if she or he wants to go to the police, they're afforded that right now.
So that's a policy change that has been made?
Yes, that's a major policy change, and that person has the right to go to the police, or if he or she doesn't want to go to the police because of X, Y, Z reasons, then we could treat it internally too as well. And we have all confidence that we could deal with it internally as well. Now, because such were the changes that we could deal with it, either internally or externally, and so that the person could get satisfaction in our way we do things, in our disciplinary proceedings.
And switching gears a little bit, let's get Major Veliz into the conversation and talk a little bit about some of the upcoming events, and perhaps starting with BDF Day, and for the benefit of our viewers, we can start by talking about what the day is all about and what we hope to commemorate.
Okay, so I'm Major Veliz. A bit of importance of January for the BDF.
Yeah.
So the reason this January is important for the BDF is because, as you all know, BDF is now 44 years.
Yeah.
Back in 1978, a bit of a touch of the history is that where the Belize National Guards and the Belize Special Forces were disbanded, Then it is the same unit that has been used to form the nucleus of the BDF back in January of 1978. That's 44 years ago. So now yearly we celebrate the BDF. And before the pandemic, we normally will have the population come, the families of the BDF, the patrons, friends, not so friends, all those kind will come to the BDF to enjoy the different styles, to showcase what we do, our operational responsibilities, our commitment to Belize and its defense. So all of that we showcase. No? But now there's a change. Because of the pandemic, we will be doing it telethon style. So we'll be bringing it to you virtually, into your room, into your office, into your homes, wherever you are throughout the length and breadth of Belize. And in the diaspora, we'll be live streaming. So the day will commence on the 21st from 9 a.m. With our opening ceremony, of course, the prayer, national anthem, then a series of events that will take place. Yeah. Instead of like the days before the pandemic, after the parade, then you'll see a lot of movements, explosion, and these sort of things. Now it will happen during the day, from morning, from 9, going on to 10, to 11, like setting the stage for the grand change of command. So that is what this is all about now. But at the same time, the main objective behind the telethon is to fundraise for scholarship that we provide for the military, the children of serving members, and as well as serving members of the BDF. So that's basically what the telethon is about.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because the BDF Day was a big fundraiser for the force itself, for the scholarship fund. And in fact, I know people used to lay wait the buses that would come in, be able to go to Price Barracks and engage in the different activities you had there. So this is a way to recover the funds that you would typically raise during this event.
Right. The telethon is for that now.
Yeah.
So we'll still be having the different styles, like portraying them as per before, except now that you won't come in. Where we'll make a bit of money in the entrance fee to the camp.
Yeah.
Now we are like doing it like for pledges,
Yeah.
Still wanting to target the objective, which is to raise that fund.
Unfortunate people won't be able to see some of the exercises or drills that you normally do.
Well, unfortunately, but it will be live.
Oh, you're going to do it
live.
virtually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, virtually, live. Everything
Yeah.
is going to be live as well.
So you'll still be able to have the kids watch and see the drills take place, just not in person, this time through your Facebook page.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
It will be live streamed by Love FM as well.
Okay. And when you talk about the scholarship fund that is available, tell me, how many children benefit from the scholarships on a yearly basis?
On a yearly, we have, last year, as we speak now, we have 32, 32 enrolled. I believe it was 22 actual children for serving members, while the rest is serving members that goes to IT vet or set programs. We have a scholarship board. We have our chairman, which is Lieutenant Mark Lode. They have a committee for you to enroll into the scholarship. Of course, you have to go through the process, the protocols. You apply, you get accepted at the institution. You bring your acceptance letter. Your battalion commander will recommend you, and then you're going through the interview. Similarly, in other places where you'll get scholarship. So after the recommendation from the committee, then of course it goes to the general for the final perusal and the decision makers. So there, how much we can afford based on the fund we derive, then that is the amount we will allocate for the scholarship yearly.
And the commemoration of the 44th anniversary, that's also a part of the BDF Day and the change in command.
Right. And significantly with the change of command, this only occurs once every 4 years. Our parade is yearly, we will celebrate, but the change of command is once every 4 years, or when the age, based on the regulation, if your age, you achieve your age first, or your 4-year term as Brigadier General.
Yeah.
That is the only time we have this prestigious change of command.
Yeah. So on Friday, officially, in the afternoon, that will also be live streamed, you will take over the command of the BDF.
Yes. I have actually taken over the command of the BDF effective the 22nd of December.
Yes.
But then to make it official, the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security decided to have it because it is coinciding with BDF Day, so that will be one big event, a series of events that will culminate with that change of command. The Prime Minister of Belize, the Honorable John Brisani, will be there, as well as the Governor General. It starts at 1400, 2 p.m.
Yeah. 2 p.m. all regular people time, right?
Yeah.
But
during the
General,
afternoon.
you know, when you look forward, and since you've already been executing the duties, what's the biggest impact you hope to make?
In the 4 years, apart from improving, I know that we're in challenging times.
Yes.
Very challenging times, and that is something when I was approached to, for me to take command of the BDF, I had to think of it seriously. What am I to do? And in the incoming 4 years of my tenure, and I said, but there is a big challenge with the pandemic. Countries in the world, they have been stricken in their budgets. We across Belize we were cut. Our budgets were cut. So how it is that we are going to move the BDF forward? But we are not alone. We have our regional partners that continue to help us. We have the Americans that always help us because of our shared interests. There are things that are occurring here in the region that the Americans doesn't want or wanted else that would be reaching them, like the migration from the Honduras and Central America and perhaps Africa, Haiti, transnational, the drug trafficking, all of those things. So we tend to rely on them to give us assistance, a lot from the Canadians too as well. We are with the Jamaicans training and Guyana and the United Kingdom, you know that the BATSOB is here with us, and they also help us a lot. So with all that assistance, we intend to increase the strength of the BDF over the next 4 years, but that is with the caveat that the economy improves. That is what we want to achieve. We were thinking of formulating, we have been formulating our plans, and we were thinking of a 3rd battalion. So if we manage to accomplish that during our 4 years in the post, that would be big.
So it's increasing the force and also improving, building upon the training.
Yes, and trying to modernize our infrastructure, modernize our technology. We have to embrace technology as well.
Yeah.
That was what we were discussing in our meetings yesterday. That we have to, in embracing technology, we have the drones. We got to continue to acquire the drones. Many countries, the world, they are trying to get drones because that asset is making life easier. And it would make our life easier in doing reconnaissance missions along the adjacency zone, trying to ensure that our borders are fully protected, and that
that would be one of the most practical applications of a drone.
Yes,
because that's a challenging trick that they take there.
So that is just an example. We have to embrace technology, digitize, fulfill our dreams of digitizing the BDF, and that's not only from our department, but also it's a government concern. They want to get it done, and so do we.
And so the details for Friday, as we said, it'll all be virtual. Your change in command is at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, so people can be able to see that. And the telethon takes place in the morning. And people get to see virtually the drills and also pledge their support for the scholarship program.
If I may, just run the sequence of events that will take place So in the morning at 09, we kick off with all the details and we'll give you how you can pledge and what's going on, and the official welcome, the invocation, followed by a national anthem and a message for the BDF and the population of Belize in a whole. The BDF history, we'll go through that as a host discussion with some of our past retired majors. Then we'll have what we call a jungle wing, which is they will showcase what the jungle exports are about, the jungle warfare, how they go about surviving in the jungle, what all the details that goes with that. The signals, some specialized unit like the signals department, the MT department, the medical center, what contribution they have within the military, and as well we'll have some live band show showcasing their skills as well. The air wing, the special boat unit, and of course we include the different things that the battalions they do.
Okay.
The operational commitment along the border, 1st Battalion and 2nd Battalion, and involving the NGOs that we work with, because the soldiers sometimes they collaborate with other NGOs or governmental agencies deployed to defend this country. So we involve all of those, and then all cameras at 1:30 going to shift from the telethon now into the live change of command and the parade itself and all the fancy stuff that the military will do. I encourage everyone, stay tuned, tune in and pledge for the support of the scholarship, and as well as see what we have to offer to you all.
All right. Well, best of luck with the event. I am musing at that agenda. That's a very military agenda down to every minute. But we appreciate you coming in and telling us all about it. And we hope to have you back, of course, with future updates from the force.
Thank you very much, Ms. Claire.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we are going to be featuring brand new music coming from G King. So please stay tuned.